Yo, I'm Daniel and welcome to my channel. Uh, I guess to jump straight into it, suddenly I got the urge to go back and see some old photos from my time in Japan. I used to live there for around like a year or so, and I got a shit ton of experiences and kind of weird stories from my time living there. So I thought, fuck it, why not? Why not make a little channel and talk about my experiences and weird little journeys across Japan. And I guess the first one was one that I saw when I was browsing my phone. I saw a single picture of my shoes and just a pile of vomit right next to them. And the second I saw that picture, just a wave of memories just came back to me. I relived the fucking vomit coming right out of my mouth. So I said, fuck it, why not? If I were to name this story, the kind of general theme of it is just like meeting the wrong people and hanging out with the wrong people. Because holy shit, when I first got to Japan, I did it in exchange there, and I lived in an international dorm, so the people I met were all other international people. So the first people that I kind of latched onto was a group of kind of, nice way to put it would be crazy Europeans. They love to party and fuck around, and honestly, to be 100% honest, they are the worst group of people you could possibly meet and associate with. And little naive me, I was 21 at the time, so fuck, I could have made my own decisions and kind of realized this wasn't the kind of people I should be hanging out with. But naive me kind of immediately latched myself onto them because they were the only people that let me in. To give a little synopsis of the group, there were two Italian guys, a couple of Americans, a couple of Germans, some Norwegians, just a very diverse group, kind of all based in Europe, and a couple of Americans. And me, a singular, if you can't tell by my voice, Australian guy. I was the only Australian guy in the group. And to be 100% honest, I kind of got strung around the entire time. I had no confidence, I had no idea what I was doing. I think I was the only person in that group that could speak Japanese, so I'm fairly sure that's probably why they kept me around. But I was kind of like their little puppy following them around. Kind of like their little bitch, to be honest. I'm exaggerating there, but I kind of hung out with them because I was too scared to be alone. And I think that's kind of a general theme of my time there. I think keeping bad company is worse than having no company at all. So at the time I was hella naive, so I just kind of assumed that they were my friends. But even within that group, I was an outsider, so I didn't know the sheer amount of drama that was kind of going on within the inner circle of that group. People were literally fucking each other, cheating. People had relationships before coming to Japan, and they were just cheating on their relationships with the people there. It was just a mad fucking insane little cyclone that I found myself in, and I was just kind of on the outside, kind of being strung around. And I think the best story that came out of this fucking group, at least the one that comes to mind most, is this one dreadful night I had with them. This was maybe a month into knowing them and hanging out with all of them. We had gone on a bunch of fucking little day outings and stuff. We'd hung out. We got to know each other pretty well. It was one of the earlier times where we went out drinking. And that night we were a group of maybe 10 or so people. And we went to a nomihodai, right? A nomihodai, which is basically an all-you-can-drink place. Very cheap and fucking very dangerous. Especially if you're an Australian like me, where fucking alcohol is so expensive here. You have to sell like a liver and fucking your firstborn child to even afford a pint of fucking anything. It is so fucking expensive here. So the second I had the concept of an all-you-can-drink place for like what, $15, I had to lock in. I had to drink as much as I could, and I fucking drank and drank and drank. And this doesn't help because we played a shit ton of drinking games. Stuff like put your hand down or drink two if you've done this or that or this or that. And I swear I drank for fucking every single one of them. I don't know if I was trying to keep pace or if I was just trying to get as shit-faced as possible to keep up with everybody. But I just drank and drank and drank and drank. And this was the first time I'd ever been blackout drunk. Now, the first time I threw up in this fucking night, and there were a lot of times I threw up, the first time was a reasonable kind of throw up. I drank and then I immediately felt it kind of coming back up a little bit. So I said, okay, gotta go to the toilet. I went to the toilet, closed the door, threw up in the bathroom, went back, saw the sink, washed my mouth out, washed my face, locked back in. I looked at myself, I said, lock back in, you down for round two. So I go back out, I drink more. My memory is obviously hazy. And then the next thing I remember is me going to the toilet again, needing to throw up again. So I go to the toilet and the door's locked. And I knock. And I knock and I knock. And maybe a minute goes by and I'm really holding in my vomit. And I'm like, I need to vomit. And lucky the person leaves. Right? And it's one of my mates and he goes, "Oh, you good?" I was like, yeah, fine, perfect. Let me in. To go in, vomit. Same thing, repeat, wash out. Fucking like an idiot, I just go, "Round 2, baby, round 2. And I'm hyping myself up like this. I don't know what was wrong with me. We drink some more. And then for the third and final time, I go to the toilet to throw up. I go in. I knock on the door. Someone is in the toilet. And maybe a minute goes by and the vomit is creeping up. And you know that feeling where your saliva gets liquidy? It's really, really liquidy. It just kept pooling in my mouth and pooling. And I was like, fuck. What do? I can't throw up in the sink. And I turn to my left and there's a urinal. There's a fucking urinal. And I go, I gotta do what I gotta do. Because this guy is not opening the door. Probably taking a shit or something. Or he's probably vomiting on the other end too. So I go, fuck it. I gotta do what I gotta do. And I vomit in the urinal. Luckily it was a clean vomit. Straight liquid. But I look at that. I go to the sink. I wash my mouth. And I just go, fuck. I was like, god damn. What am I doing with my life right now? And I wash my mouth. And I go out. And at that point, I'm fairly sure we're getting ready to leave. I'm not sure if we're getting kicked out because we're being too rowdy or we were just getting ready to leave because the normal holiday was ending. I remember very vividly walking down to get to the all-you-can-drink place. There was maybe like a flight of stairs. And I remember walking down those stairs was so fucking hard. I think I had one friend helping me down. And at this point, honestly, a few of us are fucked up our minds. And a few of us aren't. Like, I feel like a few of us were kind of playing around a bit too much. I thought we were seriously drinking that night. But it seemed like only me and a few other people were actually seriously drinking. So we leave it, and then we immediately head to a convenience store to get some water, because they can tell that obviously we're pretty fucked out of our minds. And that's where my mind gets very hazy. This is where kind of I don't remember that much, because I come in and out of consciousness. I'm blacking in and out. This was fucked. This was very bad. So I black out. We're in front of the convenience store. There's a bottle of water right in front of me. And one of my friends, she's feeding me the water. I'm like, okay, perfect, whatever. I black out. I come to, and then I'm right in front of my friend who's a girl, and then two Japanese guys. And then they were obviously hitting on her, right? And they're hitting on her, and I'm talking, and I kind of go up to them. I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, oh, like, what's your Insta, stuff like this. It's like, oh, you want her Insta? Here, get my Insta, and then I'll relay it to you. And then I grab their Instas. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you later. And then they walk away. And she's like, oh, thank you. And then my memory fades out again. And I'm like, what the fuck? Next thing I come to, I'm holding one of the girl's legs, right? I'm sitting down, I'm holding one of the girl's legs, and I'm kind of leaning on her. And then she's petting my head. And I'm like, I'm gonna vomit. And she's like, oh, it's okay, you can vomit. And then I vomit. And then apparently a bit of it splatters on her bag. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, I'll pay for it. She's like, oh, fine, it's okay. And I black out again. The final time I come to again, I open my eyes. I'm still in front of the convenience store. I look up, and I'm completely alone. And it's pitch black. It's night, like 3 a.m. A lot of the izakayas are kind of simmering down. There's barely anyone on the streets. I'm just purely illuminated by the light of this convenience store. I am alone, completely alone. And then I hear a gag. I hear someone gag to my left. Someone go, ugh, ugh. And I turn to my left. It's one of the guys we were drinking with. I hadn't really talked to him that much, but I see him, and he's just throwing up, just in a fetal position, throwing up. And I'm like, hey, man, are you alright? You alright? No, man, no, I'm not alright. Giving me this whole spiel about how he feels so sick, and normally he doesn't get this drunk, and this and that. And I go, it's okay. Do you know how to get home? He's like, no. I was like, where is everyone? He's like, I don't know. Fuck, my phone is dead. His phone is dead. We are fucking no idea where we are. It's 3 a.m. We're both fucked out of our minds. How the fuck do we get home? Where is everybody? And it was at that moment where I had my truly first lock-in moment. Probably one of the very few in my life. Phased in. I was like, okay, do you know the way to the station? He's like, yeah. I was like, can you lead us there if I carry you? He's like, yes. So I picked this guy up my back, right? And keep in mind, I'm still fucked out of my mind. So I have to carry him, and I'm like wobbling the entire way, and he's guiding me to the train station. And we're walking, and we're passing by other people that are just fucked out of their minds, just Japanese guys that are just lying on the street, just fucking completely drunk. And we're talking, and just talking about life, and all this and all that. And eventually we make it back to the train station, and from there, luckily I knew how to get back to my dormitory. So we took him there, I put him in his bed, I had to help change him. It was a whole process. I charge my phone, I wake up the morning after with a horrible hangover. I check my phone, and one of the guys from the night messaged me, and he goes, "Where'd you end up going?" I was like, "Fuck you mean, where did we end up going? Where did you guys end up going?" He's like, "Oh no, we went to a second place to go drinking, and then we went karaoke after." I was like, "Motherfucker, you left me and your other friend in the middle of fucking nowhere, completely fucked out of our minds." "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. We wanted to go somewhere else, so I think we immediately left. We didn't check." Holy shit. That was the kind of group I was associating with, where, at least in Australia, whenever I went drinking with my friends and someone was fucked out of their mind, it was kind of a given that you would take care of them. That was kind of the highest thing on the priority. But knowing that I was so low on the priority that they'd rather just go drinking somewhere else, or not even that I wasn't even a priority at all, kind of took something in me. It made me realize that I can't be hanging out with these kinds of people. Being in the company of others can be worse than being alone. And I think that was something that really clicked for me after that experience. And what kind of doubled down on this and made me really dislike this group was we went karaoke with a massive group of people, maybe 20 or so people. And obviously, you do what any 21-year-old guy does. You talk to some girls, and I remember I was outside of the karaoke room, and I was talking to this one girl. And I fancied her, type shit. And one of the girls from that night came out. The girl that I was hugging the leg of. And she goes to me while I'm talking to this girl, and she goes, "Oh, Daniel, you still owe me that purse, I was like, "Ah." And obviously the other girl questions it. "What do you mean by this purse?" And I can say, "Oh, like I accidentally dirtied her purse." And she's like, "Oh, I have photos of that night." And my heart sinks. I'm like, holy shit. Fuck my life. Were these the kinds of people that I was hanging out with? She shows us the photo of me hugging her leg and fucking me fucked out of my mind. And my heart sank. I was humiliated in front of this fucking girl. Just humiliated in general. It felt like such a private moment. And to have a photo of it, I immediately at the time I just laughed it off. But it was a horrible feeling. And from that moment on, I fucking hated that group. I truly hated that group. There were a few other times where I hung out with them, but it was when we were in a massive group and they kind of tagged along. And I have so many other stories about fuck shit that happened within that group, and then some stuff where I joined and some stuff happened and some other stuff. So maybe I'll make a follow-up video talking about some other experiences. But I think the biggest takeaway from this story is just don't feel obligated to hang out with people just because you're alone. It's fine to be alone sometimes, but if your company is going to be shit, especially to that level of shit, just be alone. It's better to be alone. So that's the video, Hopefully this goes into the fucking massive void of YouTube, and maybe one person hears it, watches it. Let me know what you think. But if you did like it, leave a like, subscribe. Maybe I'll make another couple other videos about my experiences. I have so many experiences and weird little stories from when I lived in Japan that I would love to talk about. So, yeah, subscribe. Bye-bye. Catch you later.